please come out and join us every Monday night throughout the NFL season. We will always tape live at 6 o'clock Central Time. Some Monday nights will be on the air live at 6 o'clock, and some we won't. And a couple of times we won't have a show on Monday night, but not many of those, so don't worry about that. We'll tell you. It's great to see some familiar faces. The Victory Monday fan club is here, and it's just great to have everybody here. Thank you, Nicole. It's good to be back with you.
Always a pleasure to be back with you too, Brad.
And so here we are on Labor Day. Does everybody have a good Labor Day? Very good. Can everybody in here hear me now, or was that just me yelling? That was just me yelling? Okay. We'll get it fixed. Those of you who are listening, however, on the radio, I think can hear us just fine, and that gives me an opportunity to welcome everyone who's joining us on the Dallas Cowboys radio network, wherever you might be, and also streaming on DallasCowboys.com, wherever and whenever that might be. And if it sounds like I'm what we call vamping, it's because our guest is on his way.
He's walking in, I believe. We've been told.
Is that right? Good.
Yeah.
He's probably
walking up. So.
Probably parking his car. So I want to. Here he is.
Oh.
I want to wait and give him the proper. I want to give him a proper
nice
introduction. Yes, I want to give him a proper introduction because he absolutely deserves it. He is good to see you, young man. Good to see you. Thank you.
How you doing?
So the mystery guest who has just entered and signed in is one of the great running backs in franchise history. In fact, if we had more time and a couple of adult beverages, I might make a case for you that he should be in the Ring of Honor. There are only a couple of backs up there, and he is behind only them in the club rushing annals, the things that he's done, the load that he's carried, but mainly just welcome back Ezekiel Elliott. Thank you very much for being with us. Can you hear me say that? Welcome back Ezekiel Elliott. That's an applause line. I wanted to say this. I want to start off with this. I was just telling Nicole this. I think that every year that Zeke has been a Cowboy, we've asked him to do this show, and he's always done it. He's always come out and done it, and that's not for us. That's for you. That's because of the way he feels about the Cowboy fans, Cowboy Nation, and I appreciate that. I just want you to know how much I appreciate that through the years. Okay, now I need to be able to hear Zeke, so let's see if we can.
Sorry, we're going to work through it.
It's preseason for us, too, right? So I want to ask you first, what was stranger, putting on a Patriots uniform or coming back here?
I would say it's definitely stranger putting on a Patriots uniform. I definitely had a good time in Boston, but it was definitely a different situation.
Yeah. Were you disappointed that it worked out that you didn't just stay here last year also?
I mean, obviously was disappointed. Never wanted to leave here in the first place, but, it's just the nature of the business, and I love football, so, I'll play football anywhere.
And clearly there was no hard feelings because here you are back.
No, none at all.
That's all you want to say about that?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Guys who have went to, play for other teams, been in different locker rooms, they've always talked about how, the Cowboys locker room is just so unique, right? I talked to Stephon Gilmore, and he talks about it all the time. But for you in particular, what's so different about this Cowboys locker room, would you say?
I think probably the main thing is Dallas being a place with good weather, and off-season guys really don't need to go anywhere else. It's really encouraged here not to even have to go train anywhere else. And I think through that we get to spend a lot of time together, and so just that shared time, that shared commitment is where we see how close the team gets.
I think this is right, that when you left, you led the league for the time you'd been in it in touches. If you didn't lead, you were real close. You were in the top 3. Did you feel it? Did your body feel it?
I mean, I think at times you do. I think later in the season you do. I think the last 2 years I had here, I had some tough injuries, and I think maybe tried to play through them, and it might not have helped me in the long run. But I think it was all a learning experience, and I mean, I'm a football player. I love football, so I want to be on the field. So, yeah.
Well, it didn't allow you to be the same player. I mean, clearly you didn't have some of the explosiveness that you'd had before you hurt him. Now, those things can be things that pile up and add up. So how do you no one knows you and your body better than you do. How do you think you stack up now to 3-4 years ago?
I think I feel good. I feel just as good. But I think the main thing is having my body healthy for the later parts of the season, for the playoff run. And so I mean I'm willing to sacrifice some of the in season or early in the season punishment touches to make sure I'm healthy down the run.
Well, thank you very much for leading me perfectly into exactly where I wanted to go. There was from the day you walked in here in 2016, there was no question that you were the back. You were the lead back. And I'm not sure how many teams have those anymore. The positions change. We'll talk about that in a minute. But now you have a different kind of group at running back, and especially with the addition of Dalvin Cook. How do you see the labor being divided at the outset?
I think that's the question that we're all wondering, but I do know that we have a lot of great backs in the room, and we're all competing against each other. We're using each other to become better players, and whatever's asked from us on Sunday, we'll be ready to step up and do that.
When you first heard running back by committee approach, what was your initial thoughts, and how have you kind of embraced that now that we're heading into week 1 of the season?
That's definitely something, that I kind of want for the rest of my career. I think that's
running back by committee.
It's going to help me prolong my career. I think if you look at the bigger picture, I think it's definitely going to help me prolong my career and give me the opportunity to play more years.
What does that mean? When you hear running back by committee, what does that mean to you?
I think it's just, a group of guys who have some different skill sets, and you just rotate them in and out, utilizing those skill sets. And if someone gets a hot hand, you let them roll a little bit, but just kind of committee. I mean, what it sounds like.
So if someone said, well, so how many offensive plays do you have in a game? 50, 60, something like that?
Yeah.
Like 60.
60. So if someone says, okay, you're going to get, and we're going to keep an eye on you, which they do now with all the technology. So we're going to give you 15 to 18 touches a game. And we're going to limit you to that because of exactly what you said. We want you healthy at the end of the year. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds perfect.
Yeah, it does?
Yeah.
What kind of toll does the physical part of the game that you do so well in pass protection, running in short yardage, what kind of toll does that take on you, different from maybe some other backs?
I mean, I definitely play a more physical game. And, man, I think it just depends year to year. It just depends on kind of luck and what injuries you get. Because, I mean, obviously I'm going to feel the best I feel all season right now. And after Sunday, I'm going to, have some type of nick or some type of bruise. And so I think the main thing is just getting lucky and not having too many of those and making sure you manage them along the way.
One of the things I find interesting in this sport and in basketball, I think more than others, the public and players and agents make a lot about starting. Now, starting might not be as important. Like in basketball, I always say it's great if you're a starter, but if you're really valuable, you're on the floor at the end of the game, more so than at the beginning of the game. Is it a big deal to you who's the first back introduced?
No, I really don't think it matters. I think we're all gonna get our shots. We're all gonna get our opportunities, and yeah.
How much does it help with, having a veteran like Dalvin Cook, 4-time Pro Bowler, and you 3-time Pro Bowler like yourself? How much does it help and kind of take the load off as far as just like helping coach up the younger guys like a Deuce Vaughn, like a Hunter Lipke?
I mean, it's just another instrument, another tool for those young guys to use. And do I need this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is this for me?
There we go.
Oh, that's for them.
It's for them.
It's for them. Okay, good. Go ahead and finish that answer, then we'll take a break and we'll sort this out.
I think having Dalvin just he's another tool, he's another instrument for those young guys to use, and I mean even for me to use. You never can have too much experience in a room, and it's definitely exciting to add him to the group.
We're delighted to have Ezekiel Elliott with us on the first Cowboys Hour of the season. We are at Sidecar Social at the Star District in Frisco, and we'll be right back.
Go Cowboys!
In Frisco.
Welcome back. It's the Cowboys Hour. It's the first one of the year. I'm Brad Sham with Nicole Hutchinson. Thanks for those of you who have come out to spend part of your Labor Day with us. Thanks to all of you who are joining us wherever you are joining us around the Dallas Cowboys radio network or the world, I guess, with the DallasCowboys.com streaming. And thanks to Ezekiel Elliott for being with us as our very first guest on the show this year. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and this segment is brought to you by Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. All right, Zeke. First off, I've also got to ask you, we talked about how, you've been a leader in this running back room and things like that. What have you seen from Rico Dowdle, a guy who didn't really get that many opportunities last year playing behind Tony Pollard? What biggest area of growth have you seen him over this offseason?
Probably just like his maturity in the game, his knowledge of the game, his awareness. I think, he's a guy he's gotten better every year. And, his development has been, tremendous. And I'm super excited to see him do what he does this year.
What do you think he's gotten better at?
I would say just all around in the game. Probably just the main thing is just understanding the system and stuff like that that you get from playing the game. You get from just having those reps and he really knows what he's doing.
Tell me what you think of this. When I see him run, he strikes me as a violent runner. Is that a fair description of his running style?
He definitely has a violent running style. He's a guy that he's going to take a couple guys to bring him down, and he doesn't fall back a lot. And he's aggressive. Now
you are aggressive and physical. The word violent never came into my mind watching you all these years. Physical for sure. Do you think of yourself as a violent runner?
I think I'm violent.
Yeah. I know you are when you block. And then Cook. Nicole mentioned Cook, and you two have known each other for a while. How do you think the two of you compare now, as opposed to at whatever was the peak of your careers?
I think we're backs that have similar styles. I think it definitely will complement each other. He's definitely got some speed on him. Great vision, a one-cut guy, and definitely all around.
We haven't talked much about Deuce, and Mike McCarthy mentioned how he's trying to find so many more opportunities for him. Maybe use him as a receiver. How much do you feel like that kind of helps as far as just learning the different aspects of the game?
One more time.
Just playing multiple positions. At wide receiver, lining up there, and even coming out of the backfield. Just how important is that for his growth?
It shows, how intelligent of a player he is. For a coach to be able to put that type of workload on your plate.
Yeah.
It's tough enough learning protections, running assignments, what you need to do at running back, but then adding on receiver is a different element. And Deuce is a smart kid. He's very talented, and I think he'll be able to thrive doing that.
How different is this offense than the one you played in when you came in?
There's definitely some differences. I would say probably 70-30. Different to new stuff.
Different. This being 70.
Like 70 is how similar, and the 30.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. Okay.
But it hasn't been too hard to pick up. A lot of the same verbiage, a lot of the same ideas, just little tweaks here and there.
Same concepts in terms of where the schemes are supposed to take you, where the holes are supposed to be. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds for people, but similar concepts?
Yeah, definitely similar concepts.
Okay, so if you don't mind changing the subject just a second. I guess this is somewhat of a personal question, somewhat. I won't hurt you. I thought when they didn't sign you last year, they were losing one of the best locker room players I've ever seen, a real leader. And when you came in, you were very young. Could we describe you as a little rambunctious when you came out of school at the beginning of your career?
Very.
Somewhere along the line, without it affecting your play, you harnessed that and I've been around a lot of players, been doing this a long time. Everybody grows up when they come in their 20s. By the time early 20s, different than late 20s, and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know that I've seen a player more dramatically mature than, in my opinion, you did from the time you came in to, I don't know, sometime 3 or 4 years, something like that, and you became such an obvious grown-up, such an obvious leader in the room. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense?
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. So what do you think? What caused that?
I think my heart was always good. I think, I was definitely young and just living life a little bit on the edge. But, I think just through messing up and making mistakes, I grew, and my heart was always in the right place. I always had great intentions, but, just was a little astray here and there. But I think I just grew up. Learned from my mistakes, and, became a better person, or grew to be a better person.
When did you, if you ever did consciously, when did you start thinking of yourself as a leader and a kind of a mentor for younger backs?
I would say, honestly, my first couple of years in the league, I was always the youngest guy in the room. I think I probably was getting the food my first 3 years for the plane. I think my first year, having a back younger than me was when we got TP. And, when that happened, I just embraced that role just because I knew us as a group, how to get the job done. And, this is the type of person I am, the type of teammate I am. I want everyone in my unit to succeed and, become the best players they can. And so, I think it was pretty easy transition for me.
Did someone say to you, we need you to be a leader now, we need you to be his role model, or did it just come to you? Did you just, because you know the game so well and the dynamics of players, it just felt like the natural thing to do?
In college we had something called power to unit, and obviously you hear the saying, you're only as good as the weakest part of the team or the weakest part of the unit. And so it was always important for us in college to, even though we're competing for touches, we're competing for the same job, but to always bring each other along, and that's just a part of competition. And so I think it was just natural.
Is there a back in this room that you've taken under your wing the most?
I wouldn't say there's one specifically, but I think, just us as a unit, we have a great cohesion. We have a great brotherhood where, we kind of all just gel together really good.
And we were just kind of talking about maturity and how you matured over the years. When you look at this rookie class, Maris Liufau, Tyler Guyton, all those guys, and one thing that, the coaching staff has said that they're so mature for their age. What have you seen out of the maturity in those guys?
No, I definitely would agree with that. We got a great rookie class, some guys that are going to, play a lot of football for us. And, I've been really, what's the word I'm looking for? I've been,
surprised?
Not surprised, but not pleased, but
encouraged?
Encouraged.
You're welcome.
By the group.
That brotherhood is a word that almost every football player uses. We clearly understand that it's something that's important to all of you who play such a unique sport. The physical price you pay is unique. But the roster changes so much every year. On any team, there's 25% turnover on the average. And this year, there were a lot of guys who left, and you have a lot of very young guys. How long does it take to develop whatever that cement is that you really need if you're going to be what you want to be late in the year?
I think it all starts in the off season, and I think we had very high attendance for the off season program. But it all starts in the off season. It all starts with that shared commitment, getting in the weight room together, getting on the field together, just going through stuff together. All the conditioning, all the runs, it all adds up. It all means something. And so I would say, I think it takes I mean, it starts in the off season, but I think by the middle of the season, normally like where it all comes together, it's like when we have rookie dinner, which is normally on the bye week. So I would say like that's just kind of getting together and just spending all that time. I mean, camp is a great time because we're out there in Oxnard. We're all on the same in the same hotels. So just as much time and effort you can spend with each other, that just all piles on and adds up to that.
But then you need to go through some stuff in games together, don't you? Is that why it takes a little more time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're going to take another break, and we've got so much more to talk about with Ezekiel Elliott. And as always, thank you for coming out to Sidecar Social. If you have questions for Zeke, we will get to them later. Ezekiel Elliott's our guest on the Cowboys Hour, and we'll be right back.
Go Cowboys!
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons, and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco.
All right, and we are welcome back into Sidecar. This segment is brought to you by Lucchese. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at Lucchese, 6 DFW locations or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Welcome back, everybody. Zeke, we got you back in here. Can we get a fans? Come on, like. I think I speak for all the fans with this question right here, Zeke. Just now that you've been through training camp, of course, week 1 is approaching, but just from what you've seen from this team, how much success do you feel like this team can have?
I think the sky's the limit for this team. We talked about the rookie class, just how good they are, and how well they've been doing. And I mean, obviously, we got our cornerstone guys who've been here. But I think, the sky's the limit.
It's just us here, just old friends talking. Normally, as you got to be a veteran and you got skins on the wall, when you saw a rookie offensive lineman starting, did that make you nervous at all?
No, I don't think it makes me nervous. Just from all the ball I've played, injuries happen. There's a lot of them. Hopefully not a lot of them, but this is football, so there's injuries that happen. And I think we're all pros. I think, we all have a great skill set, and I think it's good for, some of those guys, those younger guys, to get in there and get some work. But, you got guys like Tyler Guyton and BB who are really good players, and they're really good pros, and they got some stuff to learn, but they're going to be thrown in the fire early. But I think they've showed me enough in training camp where I'm not worried at all.
What do you look for in training camp to see that?
The main thing I look for is just how much fight a guy has in him. Is he a dog or not? I think assignments and knowing where you need to go. We got plenty of but you have plenty of time in OTAs and camp to get guys knowing their assignments. But I'm looking for the intangibles, like how hard a guy goes and how much of a dog he is.
No, go ahead.
Was there a moment or a play in training camp or in the preseason games where you saw, like, okay, Tyler Guyton's going to be ready for the NFL, or Cooper Beebe's going to be ready for the NFL?
I think Tyler Guyton, just that first padded practice he was out there, you could tell that kid has some dog in him. And so, I think that showed me pretty early that, he can get out there and play. And then BB, he's a little, I don't know how to put it, you look at him, you don't necessarily think that, okay, this guy can go, but, as you watch him closely, as you watch him play football, he has a lot of dog in him too, combined with some great skills.
We talked about you mentoring young running backs. Most veteran players are probably like this. You know the offense. You know offensive football. And objectively, my guess would be if you looked at tape and wanted to say to Tyler Guyton, hey, let me just offer you a suggestion. You could probably help him even though you're not a tackle. Does that happen? Can that happen?
With a guy young like that, I don't know exactly what he's being taught. So, I don't want to try to intrude too much. But as far as that, all I would do is, tell him what I'm seeing on a play, how I see a read, how I see he's blocking a guy, and what I'm thinking and what I'm trying to achieve, and kind of give him a little insight there, to maybe see if that can help him with his job.
I was very interested in hearing you say, I think all of us who watched them in once the pads came on especially, could see what you were talking about with Guyton and BB both. And then there is, and you touched on this, but then there's the mental part. Then there's the, I hate to say live bullets, but that's kind of what goes on. When and how can you tell if a young guy is going to be able to keep it together? He's gifted physically, but he's got to be able to keep it together when all kinds of stuff is coming at him. How can you tell if a young guy's got that?
I think you can tell. You can tell early just how fast they grasp the playbook, because when you're a rookie, there's so many extra meetings. They know that they're throwing a lot of information at you, and that it's not gonna just going to practice, going to the normal amount of meetings isn't gonna get you caught up. You got guys who've been there for a long time and been in the system for a long time. So I think you can tell the kind of learning curve a guy has pretty quick, and both of those guys are very smart dudes who are hungry to learn, hungry to figure this thing out.
Did you expect them two to be starting so early, or did you kind of think that maybe Brock Hoffman and Chuma Edoga, well, of course, different situations with that, with Chuma being injured, but did you think that it was going to take some time for them to kind of earn that starting role?
I think when you draft a guy in the first round, I think you think he's going to be starting pretty soon. You know, a lot of guys you get a guy in the first round, you kind of expect him to start, you know, pretty fast. You know, maybe day one. But I mean, those guys did have, you know, great vets in front of them. You know, Brock, such a smart physical football player. I mean, I can't, you know, say enough, give him enough compliments, talk good enough about him. But
he made BB earn that job.
Facts.
Yes, he definitely did. He made BB earn that job, and but I think you got to look at, you know, where you're trying to go, and if eventually you want a guy to start, I mean, it might be better to throw him in the fire now. You know, let him to start getting better if he's ready.
And this is a pointless observation, but don't you wish Tyler could have had a year with Tyron?
You know, definitely. You definitely would love for him to have a year with, a guy who was the best tackle in the game, you know, whenever he was on the field. And, you definitely would love for him to have a guy like that to pick his brain and learn from. But, I mean, that O-line group, Tyron did such a good job help cement that O-line group's culture. And I think, you know, even though he might not be learning directly from Tyron, but he's learning from a guy like Terrence Williams, who played a lot of ball with Tyron, and you know, you got Zach Martin, who you can plug in at any position on the O-line, who can you know, help bring the guy along.
But don't ask Zach about playing tackle though, because I used to do that. He didn't really want to talk about that very much. Last year, when you weren't here, the offense changed. Mike McCarthy became the play caller, and he talked a lot about, even though it was his fourth year in the job, he said, well, we're in the first year of the system. And I know that you spent a lot of time previously in the old system going to quarterback meetings and spending a lot of time really understanding everything in the offense. Are you still able to do that, and how is the offensive dynamic different in this system that Mike runs compared to the other one?
You know, I think it's just some different verbiage. There's a lot more emphasis on pass protection and, you know, just there's a lot more specifics when it comes to that. But, we do meet as a group, you know, so I'm not in those special teams meetings. So, we do utilize those times where I can go in with the quarterbacks and we can do some protection meetings. But I would say a lot of it is similar, you know, a little bit different verbiage here. There's only so many different pass protections you can run. I think every team probably has all the same stuff in, but I think, you know, each coaching staff has their philosophy and how they want to do things.
In what ways has going up against this Zimmer defensive line every day kind of helped this running back room?
Just going against Zimmer's defense, I think we're not going to see a defense that's going to throw as much stuff as Zimmer's defense. And it seemed like in camp, you know, every day they were just game planning us, and they were, you know, one step ahead of us, you know, with their pressures. And I think it was good for this running back group to see all those different pressures and just be tested that thoroughly in training camp.
So we've gone this far. There's two names we have not brought up. One is Bill Belichick. What was that like?
It was a really good experience. I think if you love football, you'll love playing for Bill Belichick. You know, it was definitely very physically demanding. I think we probably practiced in the dome twice the whole year. It was different there, but I'm a football guy. I love football. I think, you know, he was a very smart coach. I think he coached the guys up very well, very hard, and I think it was an overall good experience.
Were there ways he was different than you thought he would be, never having played for him before?
I think when you hear Bill Belichick, you think, you know, he's going to be, you know, a stiffler. I think you think he's going to be kind of maybe over the top with it. But, I don't think he was that way at all. He was actually, you know, a lot more chill than I expected. Definitely tough on you, but not exactly what I thought it would be.
The other name we haven't mentioned is Dak Prescott. Did you miss him? You missed each other, didn't you?
Definitely missed him.
How, I said how I thought I'd seen you progress as a human being from the time you came in. How about him? How would you observe he has evolved?
I mean, I think he's a guy that, every year gets better, not only as a player, but a leader. And, he's the cornerstone of this program. And, I think he represents it very well. And I think, that's the reason he's able to be the cornerstone is because, he does everything right. He does, all the right things. And so when he goes to coach a guy to say something to a guy, that he's doing all those things that he's asking you. And so, it's not hard to, listen and take that advice.
When you hear, Dak not get the credit that he deserves, for the accomplishments that he has had, what do you say?
I think we don't necessarily play this game for the credit. I think we play this game for the brotherhood. We play this game for the camaraderie. I think all the credit he would want, he gets from inside the building, and I think that's what matters.
Ezekiel Elliott's our guest on the first Cowboys Hour of the year. If you are here at Sidecar Social and you've got a question for Zeke, get it ready. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Go Cowboys!
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco.
Welcome back here to Cowboys Hour here at Sidecar, and this segment is brought to you by Luke Casey. Again, stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Luke Casey. Shop the collection today at Luke Casey. 6 DFW locations are online at lukecasey.com. Luke Casey, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. Welcome back, Zeke. Everybody, we need some more applause. Zeke, something that you had told me when you first got to Dallas, I got a chance to interview you, and you said that you're looking forward to proving that you can still be a starter in this league. Week 1's right down the corner. Just how much are you looking forward to it?
No, yeah, I'm super excited. Seems like off-season at camp flew by. The meat of it's here. I think we're ready.
This is an impossible question, but again, you know your body better than anybody. If you're able to stay injury-free, how much juice have you got left? How many more years would you like to do this?
I don't know. I say let's, take it 1 year at a time. And
very good answer.
I don't know. I don't necessarily want to put a number on it right now.
Do you find yourself, though, clearly you're closer to not playing anymore than you are to getting started. Do you find your appreciation for just being able to play at this level growing the further you go in your career?
I think definitely. I think every year, every another play, every another game I get is a blessing. And so I'm definitely cherishing it.
Okay, questions from the fans here at Sidecar Social for Ezekiel Elliott. Here's the mic. You can make your way right down here. You are first.
Good evening, Zeke. My name is Rambo. On behalf of the Dallas Cowboy fan base, welcome back to the family. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
So, life is full of learning experiences. What life experience did you learn in the Patriot organization that you're bringing back with you to the Cowboy organization?
No, that's a good one. Getting deep. No,
That's all right.
Just probably my appreciation for the game. I don't think it really matters, where I play it. As long as, I'm playing ball, I think, I'm happy. But probably just, bringing back here, with the guys. A lot of guys here on, contract years. Just enjoy it, cherish it. Put your best foot forward, and at the end, you'll be happy.
We're cheering for you.
Sorry,
Go
Rambo.
Cowboys.
That's an interesting thing that you say. A lot of you are on contract years, and for some positions, that's not a particularly unusual thing, especially in the salary cap era. It is not common to have everyone on the coaching staff and all of your quarterbacks playing in the last year of their contracts. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. Does that hang over the team?
No, I don't think it does. I think we have a great group of guys and a group of guys that's going to help keep this team focused. And I think, guys may more so use it as motivation. And I think when you're backed into a corner, a lot of times it brings the best out of you.
Hey Z, welcome back. My name is Corey. My question would be, with this being your 9th year, what advice would you give yourself now to your rookie?
Yes, Corey. What a great question.
I would say start developing those routines. Start figuring out what works for you and taking care of your body, and start working on creating those good habits as quick as possible.
The follow-up to that is, if today's Zeke could talk to 2016 Zeke, would that guy listen?
I think he would.
He would?
I hope so.
Especially, well, you know both of you better than anybody else.
In what ways, because you kind of just mentioned how you take care of your body, in what ways has that changed since 2016 Zeke up until now?
I think you learn a lot of it just through going through stuff. Learn a lot of it just by getting hurt. And as you get older, you get injuries that they don't turn. They're stuff that you're dealing with more so often. And I think getting those injuries, you learn just different exercises, different ways to perform maintenance on your body more so it doesn't turn into something big.
Now, I don't want to make this sound like you're old because I have a little perspective on that. You are not old, trust me. But your career is, do you need more rest during the week than you used to? Not really?
No,
it's okay to say not really.
No, I mean, not really. I think coming from college, I think we're so used to having demanding schedules, and so when you get to the NFL, it's more so it's like, okay, I have so much time. Like, how do I use it? So I mean, I think there's plenty of time to rest.
I want to kind of switch gears. Oh, do we have a fan? Nope. I want to switch gears. You guys have Cleveland on Sunday. Just talk about how much you looking forward to that, and just talk about a little bit about how you guys feel like you all prepared for that defense.
I think I'm obviously super excited to go back and play in Ohio. That'll be fun. Excuse me. I think we had a great camp, as an offensive unit, defensive unit also. But speaking on the offensive side, I think we had a great camp. And camp you're installing, but you obviously take some sneak peeks to down the road. And I think we have a good initial plan for that Cleveland defense, and I'm excited to get the season rolling.
Will you be asked to chip Myles Garrett some?
I think everyone's going to be asked to chip Myles Garrett.
Hi, Zeke. My name is Emmanuel, and I'm an African born and raised, but I've been here for quite some time. And I have a large community here, and we support you so much, approximately 4,000 people. And my question is, will you ever visit Africa?
Say it again.
My question is, will you ever visit Africa?
I think definitely. I definitely will visit Africa. It's actually funny. My mom just got back from visiting Africa. But I think, definitely, I want to visit every continent, but definitely see that in the future.
Where did she, thank you, where did she go?
Good question.
In Africa?
A good question. I
you
don't
know?
remember exactly.
Okay. Is there a place in Africa that you'd particularly like to see?
Obviously you want to see the pyramids in Egypt. But I really haven't thought about it much.
You got plenty of time. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Number one, you're my absolute favorite player, so excited to see you. But one, are you playing fantasy football this year? And then number two, what was your all-time favorite touchdown celebration?
College or pro?
Either.
Okay.
Not playing fantasy this year. I played fantasy one year. I just can't, I'm not good at keeping up with it week for week, so I didn't pay it enough attention.
Smart.
Favorite celebration, I think that's easy. Salvation Army, the original, the first one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nicole asked you about looking forward to this week. A question that a lot of us get when the schedule comes out is, someone just asked me the other day, what game are you looking forward to the most? And my answer is, well, Cleveland, because I don't know who I know who, but I don't know when. But when the schedule comes out, do you look at it? Are there some games on there that you have circled?
I look at it, but I wouldn't say there's a game that I have circled on it. My favorite one is the next one.
Whoever it is and wherever it is.
I was going to say, if you had to choose one, though, on the schedule, which one would it be?
You got a list of the schedule for me?
Got you.
Well,
let's pull it up. We got Cleveland.
Obviously playing Philly at home is always fun. I think, do we play Houston on a Sunday night?
You play Houston, you
Monday
go
night.
to San Francisco, you play Detroit.
Probably just I'd probably say Philly at
Baltimore.
home. That's always a very electric stadium.
Give people before we wrap up, so give people a little idea of what a game week is like for you, day by day? Tomorrow's a day off.
So normally game week, play on Sunday. Monday we'll come in, watch the film, little workout, just kind of work the kinks out, get moving a little bit, get that recovery process going. Tuesday is our day, so might come in and get a lift. Probably come in and get some treatment. Maybe come in and get some film. Wednesday is we start to ramp it up. So get the initial game plan. Oh, I guess we get the initial game plan on. We start on that Sunday, but probably the first and second down, final ads on Wednesday. Thursday is our tough practice. So we got a doozy on Thursday, get some third down, get some red zone. They'll continue some first and second down. Friday we have, we call it a star day or a stay day, and that's just kind of where we have a walkthrough in the morning, and then
we're wrapping up. There's Ezekiel Elliott. Thanks, Zeke, for being with us.
Thank you.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!